What's up, guys? This is probably one of the first of a few tutorials I'm going to do for this game. They're pretty much just going to be fundamental tutorials that will sort of help people. I'm not sure why Cecil can't stay on this rock, but it's just going to be something that I want to do for the community in order to help them or to help beginners. This is pretty much a beginner tutorial. As for advanced players, I'll leave a few tips that I think even advanced players can put to work later on in the video. But just starting off with some basic ideas, I think the first one that I want to go over, well, something to actually remember is that there are really different types of awareness, you know? Like, there's, well, the main types of awareness I like to think of is map awareness, exco awareness, matchup, and then range. So, of course, the first one I'm going to go over with is map awareness. Now, this is something I feel like a lot of people struggle with because people get very easily blindsided, they don't hold, they don't position themselves correctly, and all these things are sort of an after effect of not having good map awareness or not being aware of what's going on around you. And this also goes for peeling and cutting, which I'll go over in another video. But I think overall people need to have much better map awareness in order to become a better player. And map awareness in general can really help you, or awareness in general, sorry, just helps you to become a better player because the more aware you are, the better you are. So, starting off with map awareness, I think the biggest tip that I can provide for people is to just make sure that they're looking at the mini-map more than they look at the visual map. And if I were to give sort of like a percentage, I would say like 80% of the time you should be looking at the minimap because it tells you everything you need to know. It tells you who your teammates are targeting, it tells you who's targeting your teammates and who's targeting you, etc. So that's just really important information to know, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people miss out on because they're too busy looking at the visual map to look at the main map and see if someone's behind them or see if someone's on a teammate or, you know, etc., etc. All these things, all these different things, all these different situations that really call for you to have good map awareness in order to deal with them correctly. So map awareness is definitely good. A lot of people, I guess, tell me that their biggest problem with map awareness is that they're used to looking at the visual map, so looking at the mini map is a bit uncomfortable for them, or at least focusing on it is uncomfortable for them. And to that I say, just, you know, just try. You know, like, just take the time out, play a few games, and make a goal to look at the minimap most of the game, and just see how much your awareness improves, see how much more you're aware of. So yeah, I would definitely suggest that for the players that feel like they're struggling, because really, the minimap tells you more than the visual map does. It really does. It gives much more vital and valuable information that you can actually utilize to your advantage. Now, the next type of awareness that I want to talk about is exco awareness. Now, a general tip, and this can actually help a lot. I think it's helpful to know when your opponent has a certain EX skill. And one example is, I know that a lot of people, or some people, like to make some cheeky plays, like if you're a shoot, you can search someone using an EX skill or something like that, or know that they're trying to use it and just punish it. And a general tip is just to just know that when you have your EX skills up, or at least your common EX skills, the enemy most likely will too. So that's just something that you can be aware of and realize. So yeah, just be aware of that. It can help you a lot because another example is if a shoot has Banga, you don't really want to target dash because as soon as they see you, they're just going to use Banga. So, you know, if you get Banga, you're going to get downed, perhaps even killed, which is even worse. So yeah, you do want to keep that in mind. And if they have like Mighty Strikes or HP, you know, if they sort of like make it very easy to see like they're grouping up, you can probably do your best to like punish or interrupt it, or at least gain a bit of brave or get a break, etc., etc. It really depends on the situation, honestly. The biggest thing for this sort of category of awareness is unique EX. So one example is, if I know this Golbez has Binding Cold, what's the thing I don't want to do here? The thing I don't want to do here is this. Because as soon as he sees me do this, he's gonna Binding Cold me, and let's just say this Golbez has killing. He's gonna kill me for it. And if you have High Brave, you definitely just don't want to do that. Like, and this is another thing. You know, it sort of goes into map awareness. If I know he has Binding Cold, I don't want to be in the range of it. And I definitely don't want to commit on someone else while I'm near him, knowing that he can kill me for it. So that's one example is, you know, Golbez with Binding Cold. If you know he has it up, you definitely don't want to commit too hard. Say Kane has Jump 3. You don't want to, again, I'm pretty sure it's just the same idea where this Kane is right here. You don't really want to do this because he's just going to Jump 3 for it. Say, even if you do hit this Golbez, he's just going to get the break damage off Jump 3. If this Cecil has Job Change, I guess he could just use his invul frames and interrupt you. I'm not sure, because a lot of Cecils don't really use that technique. I'm not sure how effective it is, because it doesn't have as many invul frames as Onion Ice Job Change does, I don't think. But yeah, that's just a general idea, or a couple of examples of just making sure that you know what X skills your opponent has, first of all, and when they have them up. The next one is matchup awareness. Now, I could go into the whole battle triangle, I guess, but that's for another video. I'm just going to simply say that you want to know what your advantageous matchups are, what matchups you're at a disadvantage, and what matchups you're sort of equal. And Vanguards are sort of equal because they have the same amount of poise, so they're pretty much just going to clash. Speeds, Vanguards have more poise, so that's an advantage that you have in that matchup. And versus shoots, yeah, Vanguards do have poise over them, but generally shoots can keep them at a distance and make it very hard for them to get in. So that's just a matchup that you have a disadvantage on. So yeah. That's when it comes to classes, though. It can actually become very more in-depth when it comes to actual character-to-character matchups, and in which that case it literally just comes down to playing the game and realizing, oh, I can do this versus this character, or this character can do this thing versus me. And that's character specific. So that just comes from playing the game, getting more experience, and etc, etc. I think that's pretty much it for matchup awareness. Yeah, so when it comes to range awareness, I think this is really important, because you don't want to throw out stuff from all the way over here. It's not going to get you anywhere. But if you know the range of Dark Flame, you can get that. So knowing your range is extremely important. I would say the most important is to know your range on shoots, because a lot of times I see shoots just throw stuff that's completely out of their range. It's not going to hit no matter what you do. So I think that's the most important thing for shoot players to learn, is just their range when it comes to that. And of course, knowing your opponent's range, so that you know where they can hit you from and stuff like that. So essentially, so that you can play at your preferred range and to play away from their preferred range if you can. But yeah, knowing your range is extremely important. What else? I think that's pretty much it when it comes to range awareness, and pretty much awareness in general. I know there's a lot more things to be aware of, trust me, but that's just a general idea, or rather the most important types of awareness that I wanted to go over. So yeah, one tip, and I did say I was going to give something from the more advanced players, because I know some advanced players or more experienced players still struggle with this. For map awareness, just look at the main map more. That's pretty much it. Just glue your eyes to the main map for as long as you can, and only take it off when it's absolutely necessary. When it comes to X skill awareness, if you really want to go in depth, you can see or understand each X skill's cooldown time, and you can know when people will generally have their EX skills up. And also just, when you're approaching someone, think of what unique EX skill they can use defensively or offensively against you. If they do have an X skill like that, like for example, Binding Cold, Jump 3, stuff like that. As for matchup awareness, I would say just know your character's strengths and weaknesses and the enemy character's strengths and weaknesses, and know where you should be approaching, when you should be approaching, stuff like that, so that you don't go into a matchup where you're at a disadvantage or you don't know what you should be doing or what you should be looking for. As for range awareness, I would say know your ranges. Like, actually go in depth with how far attacks go. Like this, or I think no, it's 2.5 or 1.5. Actually, it's 1.75. But anyways, let's not get into the nitty gritty. But yeah, for the more advanced players, a tip is just know your actual specific ranges for each attack, so that you can actually calculate where you want to use an attack from. It can actually help a lot as well, so that you actually throw your attacks in range, stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and those are the tips for more advanced players, I guess you could say, that still think they have a few things to work on. But yeah, that was pretty much all for this video. I'll be making more tutorials in the future, and hopefully they'll be in better quality and not too long. I really hope this video wasn't long. Of course, I'll put timestamps in the description, so that's easier to maneuver to the part where you feel is your weakest form of or type of awareness. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, but thank you guys for watching if you did, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
この力とともに僕は進む。